Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Joe Zone on sports. This is the Newswatch 16 update.
Good evening. The battle of the budget moved into our area tonight.
Officials from some smaller communities in Lackawanna County got together for a pep talk. They're worried about losing federal dollars because of President Reagan's budget cuts. And as Night Beat reporter Kathy Bellick reports, the local officials have not yet begun to fight the federal government.
To continue, we must work together to bring it about.
Keith Height helps to lead the State Association of Townships. He's here in Dixon City to urge these officials from all the townships in Lackawanna County to fight for the federal revenue sharing program. The proposed 1987 federal budget eliminates the program. Milton Davis is a supervisor of Springbrook Township. It's small, 2,300 residents, but he says the $12,000 it gets from Washington is a big chunk of its budget.
So we're, of course, a small municipality, but the dollars are even more important to us because we just don't have the means of raising the money that we need.
William Cole Sr. is a South Abington Township official. He says the shift from federal tax support to local tax support could be a good thing under one condition.
I believe it would help everybody if federal taxes would come down, yes.
Working together and fighting to hold on to those federal dollars is just what many of the township supervisors say they are doing. Township Supervisor John Krasinski of Scott Township is one of them.
We have to be in contact with our representatives. It is very necessary that we receive this funding for the township, and through their help and efforts, I think it can be done.
Krasinski says he's not giving up until he hears that the revenue sharing will not be stopped. Kathy Bellick, Newswatch 16, Dixon City.
The drought in part of Pennsylvania is getting worse instead of better. We haven't had much rain the past 2 weeks. In fact, rainfall has been 16 inches below normal since this time last year. State officials say the Lehigh, Delaware, and Schuylkill rivers are way below normal water flow. It won't be any time soon that water restrictions are lifted in the Delaware River Basin. It's not mandatory, but voluntary water rationing that's now in effect in the Williamsport area. And it comes right in the middle of the Little League World Series. Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini reports some changes are already being made to cut down on how much water is used.
Breakfast at the Lycoming Hotel is complete, except for the customary glass of water. Restaurants are now asked not to serve water automatically. It's a way to save thousands of gallons, perhaps with good reason.
Do you usually drink the water when you come here, or any place in a restaurant?
Might take a couple sips, that's all, and it's a big glass.
I don't drink it.
Usually don't know.
The drought conditions have lowered Williamsport Water Authority reservoirs. Officials want to save 600,000 gallons per day. So new stickers at the office door push the voluntary conservation effort.
We're asking people to avoid non-essential use of water, such as watering lawns, washing automobiles, flushing streets and driveways, and things of that nature.
From the grass's point of view, it will get even drier this summer, though it is strictly a voluntary effort. And Susquehanna Trailways buses are going to be a little dirtier. Because of the drought, company officials have agreed to wash their buses less often. Here alone, they will probably save hundreds of gallons each day compared to normal.
We'll wash like 8 or 9 buses a day here, and the guy's using the hose for like maybe 35 minutes while he's washing.
However, they will wash the windshields every day. It'll be next week before we learn if the voluntary rationing effort has done any good. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Williamsport.
One winning ticket in the $41 million New York Lotto jackpot is still out there somewhere. There were 3 winning tickets in last night's drawing. Each is worth $13 2/3 million. One winner is a man from Brooklyn, and these workers in a factory in Mount Vernon, New York, all have a piece of the other known winning ticket. All 21 workers went to New York City today to claim their cash.
Decided they wanted to buy a lottery ticket and started asking around, and we got 21 people together, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting in front of you people, and you think it's me.
And just in case you think you might have that third ticket that's worth over $13 million.
Coming up, what kept police in our area busy tonight?
some dramatic evidence at a trial in Scranton, and a little later, they do make toys like they used to. The stories as the update continues.
A great performance is a perfect blend of many finely tuned elements. At Commonwealth Bank, we're poised to give you the great performance you deserve. We're moving forward, and we're reaching higher. We have experience, knowledge, and total commitment. And like a talented ballerina, we're ready to perform for you. We are the Performance Bank.
Let us perform for you.
Would you know a great deal if it fell on you? Well, they're falling right now at your Toyota dealers. The 85s have got to go to make room for the 86s. So we're dropping the boom on our super selection of Toyotas with deals that'll put you behind the wheel of the best-selling import in America. We've got immediate delivery, on-the-spot financing, and incentives on trucks and vans that could save you even more. The 85s have got to go. So hurry to your Toyota dealer before your chance to catch a deal is gone.
It's back to school time again, and good grades for smart shoppers start with Phase. For back to school, save now on Scripto pens and pencils. Choose the Scripto 5-pack of erasable pens, the 4-pack Scripto automatic feed yellow pencils, and the new Scripto cassette refill pencil at Phase, just 88 cents each. And ask about Scripto's $2 refund by mail, too. The answer to the savings formula is at Phase. Obviously not your average drugstore.
Delicious breakfast sandwiches, each under $1.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
We're all happy as can be here at Newswatch 16 because we have a new member of our family. Actually, our weekend co-anchor Susan Jellick and her husband, Newswatch 16 photographer Bernie, are the proud parents of a brand new baby girl. Lindsay Marie arrived at 7:22 tonight at the Nesbitt Memorial Hospital in Kingston. She weighed in at 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Mother and daughter are doing just fine tonight. Congratulations. That's terrific.
Bernie, Susan, and the little lady from the update team.
Lindsay Marie. Pretty name.
Beautiful name, right, Tom?
I like that. Another girl to the family.
Sure. Why not?
Congratulations to them. I tell you, though, I can hear the cricket chorus once again in my backyard. Not chirping quite as fast as they were last night because it's a few degrees cooler. Let's look at those numbers right now. The stars are shining. It's perfectly clear overhead now. Look at that, 58. Keep that in mind. The humidity, 77%. The wind north at 4. The barometer is rising now. The high here today was 72 degrees, and the low is what we have outside now so far today. 98 and 42, the records. 83 and 54 was the range 1 year ago. And that's a view of a church steeple along Main Street in Dixon City tonight. Now, when you're outside at night in late summer, you can tell the temperature without using a thermometer. It's simple. Simply listen to the cricket. And here's what you do. You count the number of chirps you hear in 1 minute, then divide by 5, and then add 43. Now, for some strange reason, that gives you a number that is within a few degrees of the actual air temperature near the ground. Now, I did that a few times in the past hour, and I came up with about 90, 91 chirps a minute. Did the arithmetic and came up with about 61 for the temperature. Now, that's not too far from 58, but what do you want from a cricket? I mean, it's amazing how it works. Crickets become more active as the temperature rises, so they chirp faster, you get a higher number, and some experiments indicate that when the temperature drops to 50, the crickets stop chirping. But anyhow, try it and see what you come up with. Coming up next, there's the satellite view. Look at the air over Pennsylvania. It is just very cool and clear, and that air mass is going to dominate our weather again tomorrow. But look at this storm system here. That's approaching Pennsylvania. It will cloud us up over the weekend, but it looks like the rain from that system will hold off until late Saturday night into Sunday. But I don't see any big washout this weekend for Sunday, but some showers will be creeping in. was on this date back in the summer of 1816, the year without a summer. A damaging frost was reported all the way from New England down to North Carolina. It didn't do the corn crop any good. Here's my forecast for tomorrow. You're going to love it. Bright sunshine, a few patchy clouds, but Montrose 74, Duryea 75, Hazleton 76, Sealands Grove 78, Loyalsock about 77 tomorrow, delightful day, and the wind will be very light tomorrow. Sunrise tomorrow morning at this time, 6:18, and the sunset at 7:52 tomorrow evening. It'll stay clear overnight, 52 here, 40s in outlying areas. 75 tomorrow. Moonlit skies tomorrow night, becoming mostly cloudy on Saturday, a dry day, 72. Those showers coming in by Sunday. It has been written that when you first hear the crickets chirping, the first frost is 6 weeks away.
Oh.
We'll hold you to it.
Please don't.
Thanks, Tom. Coming up, carving creations for the kids' recreation.
But first, Joe Zone has the Super 16 countdown. It reaches team number 10. And we find out why there's no American team in the Little League Finals on the Sports Watch next.
It's summertime saving time, summertime saving time.
It's summertime saving time at your Mazda dealers, and we're dealing on everything. On GLC, 626s, even RX-7s. And during our factory-supported truck clearance sale, you can save hundreds on an 86 Mazda B2000. So come by now and save.
Mazda summertime saving time.
Get a lot of value at your local Mazda dealer today.
Come join the Super Show. We'll sing the whole day long. Such a big variety. You know you can't go wrong.
More great singers than you've ever heard on one show on the greatest telethon of all, Labor Day weekend. Comics, dancers, singers, it's great entertainment, so don't miss
Jerry Lewis, Super Show, with you all the way. Jerry Lewis, Super Show, with you all the way.
Labor Day weekend only on WNEP TV 16.
Well, we were watching it live tonight in South Williamsport. It happened just as Joe was coming on the air, and it is history.
I'm trying to figure out the averages of some of these kids. What you do is you take a grasshopper, count how many times it hops. Add 30 to that. Now, that's a different system. Let's go to the stream, and I'll tell you what. For the first time ever, all of the U.S. kids will be watching the Little League Finals. Oh, one of the teams in the championship game on Saturday is called USA West. But really, they're from Mexicali, Mexico, and they'll be representing the United States against Seoul, Korea. Mexicali got there by beating the Southern team today. Tennessee, it was an incredible 2-1 finish. Now, watch what's going to happen. We're in the final inning, top of the sixth. Score is tied at 1. Mexicali has runners on first and second. Line drive to the right fielder. He catches and throws to second to double up the runner trying to advance. The shortstop thinks it's 3 outs, throws the ball on the ground, and starts running up the field. The runner on third scores, and Mexicali leads 2-1. How about that play? Tennessee had a chance in the bottom of the sixth to tie the game. Couple of hits. But the Tennessee runner now, undecided. Watch, he's rounding third base. He gets caught past third, and he's thrown out there. And that sort of put the damper on that rally. 2 outs. Man on second. Now, a little pass ball here. Tries to make third. Bad choice. He's out. And so is Tennessee. 2-1. The final score. Let's go to the scoreboard, and there it is. Mexicali beat Tennessee 2-1. Seoul over Canada today, 16-0. Mexicali and Seoul will play for the Little League title Saturday, 4 o'clock, and you can see it here live on 16. All right, the Mets and the Giants tonight. The Mets all of a sudden had to go and bring Ed Lynch in from the bullpen to become the starter. He did a great job, a shutout, and the Mets won it. Let's take a look in today's plays. The guy doing it for the Mets, you know who it is. It always is one of these guys anyway. There's Hernandez, base hit right here. Drives in a run. The Mets are on the board early. And then Darryl Strawberry. This is a 2-run shot. Mets win it 7-0 to Ed Lynch. In for Sid Hernandez, who had some problems. He's out. Watch this play right here now. Maldonado going deep. Up against the wall, makes the catch against the Phillies. Shane Rawley, though, with an RBI right here, and tonight the Phillies win it 2-0 as they knock it off. Braves and the Cubs. Now watch this great play. Murphy rounding the base,
picked up. Here we come. Now watch the play. Coming into play. They slow it down. Here's the throw. And look at that. You seldom get that camera angle. Beautiful. Murphy, gone. Goodbye. Let's go to the scoreboard in the American League. Mets 7-0. Houston leads St. Louis 1-0. That's in the 8th. Mets to pick up a game. More scores. Phillies 2-0. San Diego beat Montreal. That's a sweep. Chicago 3-2 over Atlanta. Pittsburgh beat Cincinnati. Final score there 5-1. Yankees in California right now. Yankees looking for the sweep out there. They've got their ace on the mound, Guidry, and they've got a 1-0 lead there in the third. Let's take a look at some of the other action today in the American League today's play. And right here, Chicago and Kansas City. Now watch this. They pay these guys big bucks, right? Simple fly ball. Lonnie Smith can't make the play. Sorry. You know, George Brett, of course, he's leading the American League in hitting, going back and forth, base hit right here. But let's go to the scoreboard and see what the scores look like. Right now in the American League, Yankees 1-0. Boston finally won 8-4. More scores. Kansas City 6-3 in the 6th. Baltimore, Seattle, no score in the 1st. Detroit, Oakland, no score in the 1st. Our Super 16 preseason poll moves into the top 10 tonight. We go into the Wyoming Valley Conference. The Coughlin Crusaders, most always a league contender, Tim Carlson says they're back again this year strong.
If there's one thing Coughlin's second-year head coach John Joseph likes about his team this year, it's having 26 experienced players back. And what's even better, most of them are seniors, adding maturity to the club. The bulk of the experience will be on offense, even though a sophomore will be the workhorse.
Matt Walsh returns. That was our freshman tailback last year. He had 800 yards as a freshman, so we're counting on big things from Matt Walsh.
And if you're looking for a most likely man in the passing game, that will be senior tight end Dave Brenchek, who had a fine year last season. The tradition of stingy defense has experience going for it also on the Coughlin team, especially in the linebacking crew.
Two inside linebackers are pretty good, David Brzezinski and Paul Cole. Now, they've been playing for 3 years. Our outside linebackers, Mark Kay and Tony Visosky, have been playing for 2 years. So at the linebacker core, we're pretty strong.
The Crusaders went through what they call a rebuilding program last year, still coming up with a 7-4 record. They think this year is the one that rebuilding will pay off. Coughlin, Super 16 team number 10. Tim Carlson, Sports Watch 16.
And, of course, tomorrow night, team number 9. Okay, let's go to Pocono Downs and take a look at the third race triple. And number 8 is Abby Deal. 825 has paid $704.10. Daily double 2-in-1, 131.40. And the fishing game forecast for tomorrow, Great Peak at 6 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Okay, Joe. Very good. Thanks, Joe.
Still ahead, good old toys for good little girls and boys.
We are having a heat wave. 92 degrees, and so it's nowhere but up. We're looking for a high of 98 degrees. The torture of a torture. They are trying on the freeways to a 7.
Okay, who's first?
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Guys, how's some takeout from Long John's sound? Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Long John Silver sounds good to me.
All the good eating you love at Long John's you can take out, from shrimp to chicken to our famous fish.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Long John Silver.
Take our taste to your place.
Sounds good to me.
Finally tonight, ask children today what their favorite toys are, and you'll probably hear a Cabbage Patch doll or a GoBot.
A what?
I have no idea.
Well, Newswatch 16's Mark Annick found some toys from days gone by, and a Scranton man who's making them today.
Inside this Scranton home, some pieces of wood are going through a transformation. Jim Riley has been turning wood into wooden toys since he retired 8 years ago.
These are toys the way they used to be, a fire engine with 2 real ladders. This is his biggest seller, a model Jeep. It starts with wood blocks, and after some gluing, some drilling, some wheels are added, including the spare, and it's a Jeep.
That's the enjoyment I get out of it, you know, from taking pieces of wood and putting them together, and it develops into something.
Now, once the toy gets done on the inside, it goes to market right out here on the front lawn. There's the Jeep we just saw. There's also a 5-car wooden train set and a doll cradle. The cars and car carriers do have quite a market. Riley says there are still people who like the old wooden toys.
They like these. They do, because they don't break as easy, you know, and they can be repaired where plastic can't be.
Jim says he likes making the toys because in his shop he sets his own hours. He can work all day or just make a Jeep and call it quits and leave the blocks of wood on the shelf waiting to become toys some other day. Mark Annick, Newswatch 16, Scranton.
And that is Newswatch 16 update for now.
Next on Nightline, the trials and tribulations of winning $1 million.
Oh, must be fun. For the first news of the day, join the morning team for Newswatch 16 this morning at 6:30.
For the update team, thank you for joining us.
Good night.